It was the month of May in 2025. Just another beautiful month in New York City. Or so everyone thought. The East River flowed, ferries crisscrossed, and the Brooklyn Bridge stood proud. This iconic bridge has seen a lot over the years, but it had never seen anything quite like what was about to unfold. A day that started with ordinary routines would soon be etched in memory for all the wrong reasons. A shocking event was about to shake the city to its core, right in broad daylight. Then, a majestic sight appeared on the water. A tall ship, the Cuauhtémoc, was making its way up the river. These ships are a throwback, a beautiful link to a different era of sailing. But its approach to the Brooklyn Bridge would soon turn from picturesque to perilous. The ship wasn't turning. It wasn't stopping. It was heading straight for one of the bridge's massive stone pylons. For those on the bridge or on the riverbanks, it was a moment of sheer terror. New York City has witnessed its share of dramatic events, no doubt. So what exactly is this ship, the Cuauhtémoc? It's not just any old boat. This is a bark, a type of sailing ship with 3 or more masts. Specifically, it's a training vessel for the Mexican Navy. Think of it as a floating classroom, a place where young cadets learn the ropes, quite literally. They learn how to sail a complex machine powered by wind, just like sailors did centuries ago. The Cuauhtémoc was built in Bilbao, Spain, back in 1982. Its primary mission is to train the future officers of the Mexican Armada. These cadets spend months at sea, honing their skills in navigation, seamanship, and naval tradition. This vessel is a proud symbol of Mexico's naval heritage and its commitment to training. On this particular voyage, the ship carried a crew of 277 people. Among them were 175 cadets, reportedly the largest class to sail on the Cuauhtémoc to date. It's a piece of living history. The Cuauhtémoc wasn't just out for a casual sail when it arrived in New York. This vessel was in the middle of a significant journey. It was on an 8-month global tour. These long voyages are a cornerstone of its mission. They serve multiple purposes: intense training for the cadets, of course, but also diplomacy. These ships act as goodwill ambassadors wherever they dock, fostering international relations and showcasing their nation's culture and naval prowess. Before its ill-fated stop in New York, the Cuauhtémoc had already called at several ports. The news mentioned Jamaica as one of its recent stops. Imagine the cadets experiencing different cultures, meeting new people, and representing Mexico. The tour was also slated to take them to far-flung destinations like Iceland and Portugal. Each stop would have been meticulously planned, filled with official functions, public tours, and a chance for the crew to explore. Life aboard a training ship like the Cuauhtémoc is demanding. The discipline is strict, and the work is hard. This voyage was the ultimate test and a formative experience for those 175 cadets. The arrival of the Cuauhtémoc in New York City was meant to be a special occasion. It wasn't just another port of call on its global tour. This visit had a significant ceremonial context. It was planned as a grand entry, a display of maritime tradition and international friendship. New York, a city that knows how to put on a show, was ready to welcome the Mexican naval vessel with open arms. The anticipation was for a spectacle of sails and ceremony, not for the disaster that ultimately occurred. This visit was a profound gesture of goodwill between Mexico and the United States. The presence of the ship, with its young cadets and proud officers, was intended to strengthen the bonds between the two nations. It was a visual representation of friendship, sailing right into the heart of one of America's most iconic cities. Instead, it became a prelude to tragedy. The approach to the Brooklyn Bridge should have been a moment of triumph. A majestic ship, a welcoming city, an iconic backdrop. But something went catastrophically wrong. The sequence of events leading up to the collision is still under investigation, but initial reports paint a grim picture. What should have been a carefully navigated passage turned into an uncontrollable crisis. For those aboard the Cuauhtémoc, the final minutes must have been filled with frantic activity and dawning horror. The key factor, according to early news, was a loss of power. On a massive sailing ship, even one with auxiliary engines, losing power in a confined waterway like the East River with strong currents is a nightmare scenario. Without power, the ability to steer or control the vessel's momentum is severely compromised. Imagine the helplessness, the urgent commands, the desperate attempts to regain control as the unyielding structure of the Brooklyn Bridge loomed ever closer. Then came the impact. The sound alone must have been terrifying. The most devastating consequence of this collision was the human cost. It's a hard thing to report, but the incident resulted in 2 deaths. 2 lives cut short in what should have been a ceremonial visit. Every casualty in such an event is a tragedy, a family shattered, a future lost. Whether they were crew members, cadets, or perhaps even bystanders, their loss casts a dark shadow over the entire incident. Our thoughts go out to their loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. It's a stark reminder of the dangers involved, even in peacetime. Beyond the fatalities, 17 other people were reported injured. The nature and severity of their injuries varied, but each one represents pain and trauma. For those who survived, especially those who witnessed the event unfold from the deck of the Cuauhtémoc, the psychological scars might take a long time to heal. The arm Cuauhtémoc itself suffered extensive damage. Losing its masts is a critical blow to a sailing ship. It's like breaking a bird's wings. Repairing a vessel of this type is a specialized and costly undertaking. The pride of the Mexican Navy, a beautiful ambassador of sail, was now battered and broken. Its future sailing days are now uncertain. In the days following May 13th, the focus has shifted. Emergency response gives way to investigation. The big question on everyone's mind is, what exactly happened? How does a modern training ship with experienced crew lose power and collide with the Brooklyn Bridge? Was it mechanical failure, human error, or a combination of circumstances? A thorough investigation by maritime authorities will be crucial to find answers and prevent future incidents. This incident casts a shadow on future events, particularly the upcoming Sail 4-3 celebration in 2026. The ARM Cuauhtémoc's visit was meant to be a positive precursor to that grand event. Now organizers and authorities will be re-evaluating safety protocols. The logistics of bringing dozens of Class A tall ships into a busy harbor like New York are complex. This collision will undoubtedly lead to stricter reviews, new safety measures, and perhaps some difficult decisions about how such events are managed. The spirit of celebration will be tempered with caution. The collision of the ARM Cuauhtémoc also raises broader questions for the international tall ship community. These magnificent vessels visit ports all over the world, bringing joy and a sense of history. But they operate in increasingly congested waters, often with powerful currents and challenging navigation. This incident will likely spur discussions about pilotage requirements, engine reliability, emergency procedures, and the unique challenges faced by large sailing ships in modern port environments. The goal is always to share these vessels safely.